Hey everybody, how are you today? Happy early 4th of July, by the way. We'll get started here pretty shortly. I don't have a whole bunch of animals I was gonna showcase today just because we got stuff we're doing a little bit later. So it theoretically will be a little bit of a shorter one. But who knows? Who knows? So, but yeah, hope you are all doing well. Give it a few moments here and then we will get going into it. There's a lot of auctions though. There's a whole lot, a lot more than I expected on the holiday weekend, honestly. Which theoretically, usually I don't know how much that affects it. Usually I see a little less people on because they're out doing stuff, but you never know. These things are kind of crazy like that. So Macomorph, how are you doing today? Hilltop Pythons, hope you're doing well. What are they have new things here next to your all's name?
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I don't recall seeing any YouTube updates from YouTube talking about it.
It's the people who commented? Because it's 1 and 2. Yeah. Very interesting. And you guys have crowns now. Unless you guys can't see them, I don't know.
Well, I can see it on screen.
Yeah. Alrighty. Hey, I think we'll go ahead and just get started here. Like I said, I'm a little bit on a time crunch today, so but at the same time, if everybody's got any questions or anything like that, please feel free to pipe in, as always. So let me switch cameras here. Your cam. There we go. It's a new waste of time on chat. Yeah, now you became number 1. What is it? The amount of people who comment? No, you're number 1. What?
There we go.
I don't know. I didn't
is that
keep an eye
hidden?
on it, so. Why is what hidden?
The thing in the top left? Hold on, let me get that back. Oh, it's because you have it set to cam.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah, camera is not set up today. We realized as we were doing this it wasn't set up, and I just didn't want to. You don't need to see me anyways. I'm not important. Alright. Like I said, there's a good amount. It really just surprised me. Let me refresh this here. So, lots of building blocks and such, but our first one's actually coming up here that I wanted to highlight, ending in, well, 3 minutes 30 seconds. So it says I'm not logged in again, Jenny. Oh well, that's okay. It has had a bit of a war here, back and forth. It should go for a little bit less as well because it is just a het, but that's what you get for, if it had been a visual, this would be a whole heck of a lot more. And that is this redhead leopard spot nose Russo het clown male. Normally I'm not a huge fan of working het males, but in the right situation, sometimes it is worth it. And really what I'm looking at here is the redhead gene. Redhead is a really nice one. Very, very subtle. But starts to make major differences when it's put into combos, especially with clown. Even just by itself, it creates a pretty crazy interaction. Very variable too. If I've seen ones like on Canova's channel that are just wild, it looks like there's so much going on there. Like someone ripped a rusty like hooked down the entire animal, leaving like this rusty scar down its dorsal. It's crazy wild. But yeah, redhead is where it's at for this one, and you can see there's a lot of interest in this, even though the price is not like buco bucks. It's still $200. I mean, like, that's, to me, that's a lot of money. I don't know about all of you, but you can see there's some back and forth kind of bidding this one up a little bit here. So I don't know what this will go for, but it's climbing pretty quick here. A little bit of a war here between these two fellas or ladies, and you know, if you want in on it, unless you are one of those two, this would be a good one to get, especially at this price point. Like I said, Redhead is incredibly good for working into clown projects, especially, and it's already suited. It's from a really good breeder too. Portuguese pythons. Their quality is very, very nice. I can pretty much assure you that it either wouldn't be for sale or it'd be a whole heck of a lot more. Probably not even an auction if it had been a visual clown. So immediately, obviously, you'd want to put this to a visual clown. Wow, shocker, right? You want to up your chances of getting 50% of the clowns and knowing that everything is a het. That would not be crazy expensive to put that to a female clown. And then again, while you're at it, you can easily get other genetics in there. There's a whole heck of a lot of opportunity with this. Now, it is an animal that once you hit the visual version of what you're looking for, because this is basically a redhead Batman, or so. So, once you hit that visual version, probably with redhead and maybe Batman at least, you probably would eventually, once that one is grown up, the one that you hit, especially if it's a male, would move on from it and give someone else the opportunity to work with it. And what's cool about that is that this one's 351 grams, so it's close. Some would say about halfway there in terms of a male size anyways. And yes, you will hear explosions because it is the 4th of July and my neighborhood is as free as they get, and they love to express it. So you're going to hear explosions in the background. So anyways, it looks like this one, I'm not sure if it'll go right now. Because who knows, maybe they switch their tactics up to, that last 5-second bidder. Morphmarket did include the a change. I can't remember right off the top of my head, but there are incremental bids now. I think it's $5 for a little while, and then it becomes the 10. I think it's 10, and then it becomes 20. Not sure if it goes to 50. I'd have to look again, but I think it's honestly, I think it doesn't go far enough. I think it should go further. I know some people might disagree, but that's not how real auctions work. Oh, there it goes. Adds more. Why did it only add to that? Unless my computer's lagging. It might. I'm gonna refresh this. Hate for that to happen. It added only 3 minutes. It must be lagging. So while we're waiting, I might move on from it real quick, but let me go back into the comments here. Only seen them on lives talking about these crowns or whatever. You can watch the XP crowns go up with time and amount of chats. I've got 1,150 on the shout out factor. All right, so it's what are they trying to be, like Twitch or something?
Twitch. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Doodlebug, just want to say I absolutely love these videos and how you go over the snake morphs and possible pairings as well as pros cons in each. I'm still pretty new, and these videos are very helpful. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Kind of what helps motivate us to keep doing them and whatnot. Just trying to connect people with good deals, but not at crazy prices. Some people have different avenues on how they want to get into it and pricing too. So, in terms of their budget is what I mean to say. So I like to show everything from really expensive to really low and show how you can build something cool, even with whatever budget you're on. I think that it's very possible, and that's what I always try to show off. So, ET finally made it to another live. Welcome. You're the number 3 crown apparently. Still trying to work out how these work, I guess. Yeah. So, hey, it is cool, I guess. Well, maybe we should start gaming on these.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, first one appropriate would be the snake game. So
I'm just gonna put subway footage on, or Subway Surfer footage on the
Subway Surfer.
on the left side.
I don't know what that is even.
That's what all the brain rot TikToks put
Oh.
under their stuff.
You could put it over here. There's space right there. So, all right, 30 seconds left. Let's see if it gets bid up again. I'm gonna move on and then occasionally come back to it because somebody is doing that. You know, they're trolling. Well, not trolling. It's a, you know, they're trying to do a tactic that annoys people who are trying to just get it over with, and they bid $5 at 10 seconds. No, I'm not annoyed. What can you tell? But we'll see. Yep, there it goes. Yep. Okay, maybe they changed it to add only 3 minutes. That must be what it is. Oh, it says it literally right above it. Okay, that's another change. I must have missed that. Placed in the last 3 minutes of an auction, the time is reset to 3 minutes. That's not bad. I actually I actually kind of like that because it got really annoying having someone place $5 on it and then have to wait another 5 minutes. That got so obnoxious because some people just have nothing to do with their time. So, all right, we'll go ahead and move on, and just occasionally you'll see me ADD back to this post if I can remember. That's the nearest one I have. Like I said, I don't have a whole bunch this week. So this one's really nice, though. In fact, we just showed this off in one of our videos, or in a video I just did. I think it was on expensive snake. Yeah, it's for the Sunday video. We'll get to that later. But they must have put it on auction because this was a whole heck of a lot more. I can tell you that much. There is a reserve to it, as you can see. I can tell you, I believe that this snake was in the thousands, if not more, originally. Oh, it literally says the auction price down there. The reserve price. I don't know why I don't read. To me, I believe that reserve should exist. I believe everyone should have the option to do it however they want it. With that said, especially when you just put the reserve on there, I'm personally more of a fan of starting your auction out where you would have had your reserve. And the reason for that is because, and I don't think it's right, but even myself, I feel myself trending towards this way. But when you see a reserve, I think people just, like, they think to avoid it for whatever reason. They're just like, oh, it's a reserve, it's way too high. And some people won't read down here to see that. So that's just my 2 cents, but I do think that every tool should be made available. I don't see any reason to get away from it because I think that however anybody wants to choose to sell their stuff should be available. That said, again, it literally says it, $600, and I can tell you this was over 1,000. It might have been closer to 2. I mean, you'll have to watch Sunday's video to find out because I'm almost positive I showed this snake off in it, and then they just happened to put it on auction. So it is well worth it. 7 seconds, so I'll make this quick. But hurricane clowns in general are so cool, so nice. They usually there's not multiple pictures, so it's harder to see here. But they usually bring like a bit of an eye stripe back to the clown, where normally it wipes all that out. But it's not, you know, like it's bringing back the original eye stripe. It's just a coincidence that it brings pattern to the side of the face like this. You can kind of see it there, but it's wavy and much thicker and more chaotic. So it's really cool and unique. It's something that Hurricane does specifically to clown. Take a few seconds here to see if this finally goes. Nope, there it goes. Boom. Okay, I really like the 3 minutes thing. I think it's, honestly, like I said, I think they didn't go too far. Or I don't think they went far enough. I'd be down for just resetting for 1 minute. I mean, honestly. And having higher incremental bids at a certain amount. But yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think this one's well worth it. First, I mean, if you could score this for $600, and like I said, I don't know how a holiday weekend is going to affect things. This ends in 13 hours, which means it will be. Oh wow, what's 13 hours from right now? In the middle of the night?
8 a.m.
Huh?
8 a.m.
That's 8 a.m. So that's I guess that's not middle of the night, I guess. But I don't know why I was thinking middle of the night. I don't know what time it is anymore. But still, I mean, let's face it, there's not a whole bunch of people that on the 4th of July that are going to be, you know, not going to parades or asleep at 8 a.m. So your competition may be slim. And I've seen these. I've watched these auctions time and time and time and time and time again. And it really just depends. I've seen the same snakes, same genetics, from a better breeder. And I shouldn't say a better breeder. Let me rephrase. Not referring to this either. So I've seen, let's just say a monarch, for example. I've seen a monarch go from a lesser known breeder for more money, and then the day before, a more well-known breeder, it went for like half as much. That's not the exact scenario, so because again, I'm not going to call people out, but it really depends on who is online at the time, and that is both a cool thing and also something that you need to pay attention to and think about with these auctions. Everybody went nuts when these auctions went up and started going crazy. It looks like it got reset again, and putting them up there and seeing what you could do. This is very much a buyer's thing, though. It very much is pro buyer, because for one, your market is not, if you don't advertise an auction, for example, you need to get the right people to an auction. If you're advertising a Mickey Mantle for card, rookie card, it's a baseball player, if nobody knows. It's probably the most expensive baseball card out there. And you don't tell anybody, and you don't have a high, you don't have a reserve to protect you or a high start cost to protect you. You don't advertise it. You just show up somewhere. Someone's just going to bid and win it, So it's the same thing. If the right people are not there, then it's going to go for low. So consider that as both a seller and as a buyer, because as a seller, you want more people. But as a buyer, of course, you're thinking, like, when's a good time? This is ending at 8 a.m. Who's going to be up right then? A lot of these people put placeholder bids on there, so it reminds them. I don't know who's going to be up at that time. You can throw $600 on this sucker and win. Looks like it was produced Osmond Reptiles. I don't know, just a really cool animal to get, though, in my opinion. So let's see here. If the bid is put in flash, 3 minutes, time is reset. Yep, I figured that out. It used to be 5 minutes to reset to 5 minutes, so I'm glad they changed that. Again, like I said, I am way for lesser, quite frankly. 1 minute to me, so it's quicker. Been that way for a few weeks now. I've dropped off the radar in terms of that. So I guess I haven't done a live for a little bit, and then just sat here and watched it end. So, your passion Python. Happy Thursday, everyone. Happy Thursday to you. So cool looking. Yep, that one is amazing. Doodlebug, I appreciate good deal, but from time to time I binge watch these vids because there's so much to learn. You get ideas for stuff I hadn't thought about yet. I appreciate that. Like I said, I'm always trying to think about like what ways to combine things and create cool suggestions or stuff to make something as unique as possible on whatever budget. So, McEnworth, I believe in Mickey Mantle and Babe Ruth go back and forth on the higher value. Makes sense. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like if somebody didn't advertise something like that, and that kind of goes to that too. You should advertise your own auctions. Morphmarket only does it to a certain extent. They're just a platform. But you still gotta advertise it. So if I could have another snake, and it was a female. Oh, right, this one. Or either of these, yeah. Right, it keeps getting bid up, as you can see. It's mostly a war between these two. Alright, so we'll go ahead and move on. Obviously, this one's still got some time, but consider that if you are interested in this one, and you are okay paying that reserve price, which says right down there. It was a $2,000 snake, originally. So, yeah. Pete Rose is going to boom when entered into the Hall of Fame. Yes, now that finally happened. It's turned into a baseball chat now. I used to play baseball, not like professionally, but I loved baseball. I played it up through basically high school years and whatnot. So, alrighty. When we usually have our camera on, you can see all my stuff back here. I got a big Cubs throw, Hawks throw, so. Alrighty, make sure this is not. See, That's the only thing is I have to keep hyper jumping back. Anyway, we're gonna move on. Another one with a reserve here though, but it does not tell me what, and that would be this blackhead clown, head hypo, head DG, and this is our first female here too, so that's some definite boost to it right there. Everybody knows I love the blackhead gene. Blackhead is so good. It works with literally everything. It is so dang good. Obviously, having those other hets in there is a major boost to it. I don't want to miss out on this just in case. But there's a whole heck of a lot you can do with this. I mean, getting a male that's... I mean, it'd be nice to get a male to work its hets against each other. A DG hypo het clown, at least. I don't know what the cost of one of those is right now off the top of my head, but I think for a male it'd be okay. I think that you would have a good chance of getting one that's not for too much more, and you could get the some other genetics in there maybe too. Obviously, I love the blackhead being in there. Sorry, I want to make sure. See, is it gonna go? Says ended, but I always like to double check. 301. Yep. There you go. Nice deal for somebody there. Went back and forth for a little bit, but finally went. So, very cool. Blackhead is just so good. It works with just so much. I mean, heck, you could put that with just about anything and have an amazing animal. But of course, the ideal thing would be to hit that combo, and working the hets against each other is the best way to do that on a budget anyways. I mean, because let's face it, it'd be easy for me to just say the best way to get this combo is to get a visual for everyone. Well, cool. I'm glad you have that kind of money. But the best way for that, though, other than that, is to work the hets against each other, because then you're guaranteed when you don't hit the visual recessive, you know that animal is het. You know it. You don't need to test for it or anything like that. It's a guarantee because that's just the way they work. They always have to pass one on. And you can hold back animals with confidence in that case if you didn't hit the triple, which would be a little bit harder to do, but you should be able to hit some doubles for sure. Maybe you get lucky and get a triple in there too. Get the clown DG hypo. And getting blackhead in there would be even more crazy. You know what? Just because I want to see the odds on that. We'll type on breeding calculator. There we go. Is Hurricane and Leopard like pastel, or do they make het? Hurricane is, I believe there is a super. So that one would be in incomplete dominant. Leopard is called a dominant, although depending on who you talk to, some people will say there's a super form. The thing is that they're really all just kind of the same. It's just the difference is that when you get two copies of it with a leopard, it looks like a leopard. You would have to test or some basically for that. Hurricane, however, does I think have a difference. So those are not hets, so to speak. The het would be something like a recessive, and a recessive means when you don't have one copy. If you have like a het hypo, for example, here, it doesn't. You can't tell that it has that in there. It has no visual look to it, really. So, hey, they're picture perfect pythons. Yeah, well, kind of like how Leroy said there. Often people will call it codoms. Technically, when you get into scientific things, it's different, but just don't be one of the people that rules lawyers' terminology, though. That's perfectly fine to call them codoms. I know what you're saying, so it doesn't matter. I don't think there's one up in front of me, so. Yes, just like Piter Clown. So that's what those, the hypos and whatnot, but Blackhead shows. So even if there was just the one copy of it, it shows something, so. Alright, go ahead and move to the next one here. And that would be this Acid Pinstripe Sunset. The Pinstripe, I don't think I've seen a Pinstripe Sunset, but it seems to completely just wipe any pattern on it with it. Maybe combined with the Acid, it kind of does that. But the point is the potential within it. And the acid is really where I would be at there. I love pinstripe, but I don't know if it does it any justice with sunset. But I definitely think acid sunset is something to think about for sure. What is this? Winning bidder will be offered 20% off auctioned animals not on auction or on sale. Oh, there you go. Possible thing to get there if you wanted to. So that is immediately what I'd want to do though, is get acid and sunset into everything possible. And again, this could be a way to get two genetics, you know, sunset still being a recessive that's pretty well sought after, and acid, obviously, acid confusion, any of those ones being highly sought after too, with how crazy they are. I would probably want to put this into some sort of clown project, and even though I love pinstripe, and might be the only time you hear me say this, I would kind of hope against hitting it in this case, because I kind of don't like how it blocks it up, and the coloring on it. I prefer it to be a little bit lighter, so I would want to get this into clown, because I think an acid sunset clown would be insane. Acid or sunset clowns are already really, really nice. It brightens it up quite a bit. In fact, I think I can show that sunset clown. I want to find the one from that Miguel made. Yep, cool. First example always. So that's why. Now I don't think they go for this much anymore. They still go for a lot though. By the way, I think it'll be in this video coming up. I think it's half as much is what they've got them listed for now. But it's incredible. So that's what I think about when I see the potential. I immediately want to put it into clown. I would also want to put it into monarch, because I think sunset monarch would be awesome, because the sunset ultra mill is amazing. I actually worked that into monarch, so well, I work clown too. What am I saying? So, but those are some cool potentials that I would think about. And again, I'm starting to see male sunsets, just standard sunsets, go for about 800, maybe a tad less now. So on auction, I would not be surprised to see this one go for around there on a weekend like this. So yeah. How are you, Keeper Kane? How are you? I think I greeted you, Agrigrin, but if not, welcome. I think Blackways would be awesome in sunset. Yeah, I don't know if anybody's done that, but yeah, anything that does that, like I said, if it doesn't darken, I think for a while there, you know, it got a reputation. Sunset got a reputation of being browned out as they aged, and I don't think it was what deserved. I think what happened was people got it and they thought, "Oh my God, this is awesome! Base morph was awesome, so we want to throw things that make more orangey stuff into it." So I saw a lot of enchi and cinnamon into it, and I think that, you know, it burnt it, to say to be appropriate. Not that I haven't seen good combos with those, but some of the original ones I seen did that, and I don't think that that was a fair representation, because most of the sunsets I see are outstanding. I would love to get into this genetic soon, although I am packed to the gills. So I would need to do it. But the way I prefer to do it is actually work it with monarch, with somebody. So make hets. You know, they get my monarch hets from a shared pairing, and I get their sunsets, and then we kind of split the clutch and have double hets. So that's my hope. So maybe get some other genetics in there too, and obviously it wouldn't hurt to have clown. That'd be nice. All right, so moving along here. Would be this Wookiee Cypress Leopard Yellow Belly Clown. Lots going on here. No reserve on this one either. Cypress and Wookiee, Leopard and Yellow Belly all work incredibly well in clown. You can see here that what Cypress will do. Cypress is so good in just about everything. It kind of brightens it in a way. But it doesn't compete with dark genes. That's what you want. You want contrast. I have often said, and I will say that I kind of like the darker side of the genetics right now, but that isn't because I like just a dark, like black snake. I mean, that's cool and all, but it's just about as workable as the bell. You know, it's just, where do you go from there? Cool, right? it's because the contrast that the darks bring to the lights. Really, I should say that I like contrasting snakes. And there's a lot of it to be had even just here. Mostly, yeah, you'd say a very bright snake, but there's enough contrast there that it's not just washed out. Really beautiful, awesome, just orange head that just kind of gives way into this nice orangey shadowed type back. The pattern has got enough granulation on there to kind of call attention to itself. Crazy wild but vibrant enough to be there. And then you get this shadowed black and orange, like I said, just kind of continues from the head, just bleeds into it, and just goes down the whole dorsal of the animal and throughout the entire darker part of it. Coming up from the belly, probably because of that yellow belly, is these nice whites that are flaming. They look like little candle flames, right? Very cool. It's very cool. It's just the combination of all these genes just working together so darn well. A girl at that, so this is a really good deal for somebody, I think, potentially. Lots of interest in some of these ones that we're looking at, though. So should be interesting. Like I said, I don't know how this weekend will work. Sometimes, like I said, a lot of holiday weekends, people are out and about doing things, so they're not paying attention as much. You'd think that just because people are at work, it's good. But I don't necessarily think that. But it could go either way. Again, it just depends on who's available. So, let's see. What's a good number of recessives to work on? Ooh, that could change. Yeah. Macamorph says as many as you feel comfortable with. Yeah, I mean, I'd agree. But you could potentially get too overwhelmed, right? You should have a story to tell if you're trying to work a certain thing. Like I like Monarch quite a bit, so I kind of want to specialize. I have a plan. Really, it's just have a plan. That's the thing. And if you have a plan, and you know what that plan should go out to, produce, then you're good. If your plan is to make, a bunch of spider genes, well, great, make the plan good, but realize at the same time that that's probably not going to be a monetary giant. Again, if you're just joining, you're going to hear lots of explosions, because my neighborhood is very free and they like to tell you about it. So to get back to it, make sure that you have a plan in place. Obviously a lot of people love the staples, Pied and Clown. Those are wonderful, mostly because they are the first things anybody goes to when they think a new gene has come out. They say, what should I put it to? They're staples. They are the most popular morphs out there, not currently, but of all time, when you consider the all-time thing. You think like, oh, hey, like I said, when there's a new gene, all you gotta do is ask yourself, what are people wanting to combine it with? It's Pied and Clown every single time. So they are the most popular of all time. They're the goats, in my opinion, anyways. So those are not bad ones to get. But have something that's specialized, something that you're passionate about. If you're not passionate about it, you'll find that you're not as fueled to continue and care. But you should look at things that work well with it. Like I mentioned earlier, having something that that contrasts well. You can get bright, and bright's awesome. You can get dark, and dark is awesome. But at some point, they're just bright and they're just dark. When you start contrasting things, and not just color, by the way, but pattern, kind of like what we see on this one here, in a way, where you have something that's a little bit cleaner next to something that's a little bit more shadowed, stuff like that. So you can contrast in many, many, many different ways, and try to do as much as you can doing that. So, I wonder what would happen if you threw in Orange Dream, guessing a little too much. I don't know about that, actually. I actually think that would be fine. Orange Dream works pretty well with just about everything, so I think that Orange Dream in this particular combo would be nice. I mean, at some point you get too much of anything. So, like I said, you don't want to work too much into something, and then you just have mud. So, contrast is definitely king. Yep, that's what we say here, for sure. Macamorph says, I've been building many from hets to visuals, now working on double and triple visuals over time. Agreed. I have a few of those that are that way. I made a whole bunch of double het Monarch, Clown, Pied, puzzle type stuff, and they're growing now. So I have a little army of them myself. So I feel like the patterns change, but the color scheme is always the same on Wookiee clowns. It does veer in one direction, but there are ways to definitely go about that. I mean, Wookiee is a key component in something called the Kraken, and if you hadn't heard about it, it's one of the more crazy, awesome clown morphs out there. And there's a lot of contrast in that right there too. So the color does tend to go towards that. Well, I mean, let's face it, it's named for, like, you know, Star Wars, Wookiees, Chewbacca, and stuff like that. So it definitely has that kind of look to it. So, yeah. So let's see. Here's another really nice one. Actually, the next one we're gonna go to. I keep thinking that there's one that we're gonna miss, but I forgot that that's the nearest one. So, but anyways, the next one here, I wanted to talk about a great opportunity, is this Pixel Red Stripe Double Het Clown Genetic Stripe. It is a 1,000-gram animal, and wow. So I got a Pixel from Frame Shift here, and I loved my entire experience. They gave me suggestions. In fact, one of their suggestions was to maybe steer clear of genetic stripe, which mine was a genetic stripe, so I appreciated the honesty. The reason they said that is because it kind of pulls the pattern up to the top, and it lessens what the pixel does. So it makes a lot of sense. That's not to say you might not be able to figure that out and do it yourself, but this one is also Het Clown. So that's a big bonus here. My pixel that I got from them is hopefully breeding this year. It actually is a Cypress as well. It's a Pixel Cypress Pastel Het Genetic Stripe, and I am breeding it to a GHI Spot Nose Clown Het Hypo. Obviously I want the GHI Pixels, and Cypress too. That's all those ones right there, because I know they're all going to be Het Clown, and then if it can hit the Het Hypo too, that would be amazing, creating that het right there. I think they'd be amazing anyways, the Pixel GHIs. So that's my hope. So, but this is a really great girl, and she's already almost there. So you've got a huge boost on where you would be needing to get her to breed, because she's, like I said, she's already pretty much there. We can start on Super Pixel Clown stuff with this girl. So yeah, if you put a pixel to it, you can get the Super Pixel. I believe Justin recently, or maybe within the year, I'm losing track of time. I think it was last year technically, but within a year, whatever, it's irrelevant. I'm pretty sure he proved that Super Pixel out. So very cool animal, what they do, all this crazy granulation. You can see here that it just kind of explodes it, and just brings so much granulation to the sides of it, changes the pattern up massively. Obviously the red strip's going to bring some of that cool red in there. I very much like mine with the Cypress. I can't wait to see if I can get that Pixel GHI, and I hope that Cypress comes along, because then that guarantees me a Pixel GHI Cypress Het Clown, and that would be outstanding. I hit the visual version of that, and then we're talking. So let's see here. ET says, I like bananas, but not sure how you'd add contrast to them. Also, the Kraken looks so cool. Yeah, Kraken is amazing. With bananas, they actually, believe it or not, there's a good amount of ways to add contrast to them. Usually it involves stuff like black pastel, blackhead, stuff along those lines that you can get into there, and it really just deepens the lavender, and it prevents them from becoming a two-tone yellow as they age, or at least it helps, kind of keep it under control and whatnot. So and they look really outstanding as babies. But there's a good amount of ways, and you're contrasting different colors on them. They are generally more bright, let's face it, and that's okay, because they're so bright and so amazing that when you get something that's slightly of a duller color, it just contrasts well as like a dark. So it's still very, very good. So there's so many. I mean, the banana Enchi Clown is what originally made me say I need to start breeding ball pythons. That was when they were still about almost $3,000. And I didn't want to buy that. I was like, heck no, I'm just going to make it. So, yeah. Just something to consider with this animal here. I can tell you right now, I think Pixel is very, very nice. It's if you try to look it up right now in pricing, it's pretty up there. So I can guarantee you that this is the lowest that you're going to pay for one in general. So, all right, wanted to jump into a few Hognoses. Always try to, or not even a few, actually, just one that I wanted to show off today. But these are all the Hognoses on auction this week. And then we'll get back into bull pythons here in just a few moments. But JMG, who is probably the leading U.S. based, anyways, breeder of hognose, Western hognose, that is. Oh, that's an evil number. But they have a really good opportunity here. It's an Arctic sunburst het snow, and snow is just the term for albino and axanthic combined together. Sunburst is the term, or the combo name for albino and sable put together, and just creates a really vibrant, awesome animal there. And it's Arctic as well. Arctic is basically like fire is to bull pythons. And that's the best way to put it, in my opinion. So this is a really cool combo to get, and it's in a female, so you could again get something and work those hets against each other, and possibly hit that triple. Not sure how I feel about the super Arctic on that. But still, really cool animal. I love the sunburst and axanthic for hognoses is probably my favorite one, if not one of my favorite morphs in there right now. It's just so vibrant in what it does. It's so, I mean, I hate to say it, but I like this just regular albino anyway more than I do the look for ball pythons. It's just more orange. So very, very awesome opportunity. Like I said, JMG is probably the leading breeder of hognoses in the U.S. at least, in terms of just newer and more crazy things. So alrighty. See, curious because I haven't OD banana het pied male. Banana pieds are outstanding and they will always be outstanding. So just consider that. There's different markets too. If you're just trying to make it for yourself, it doesn't matter. But if you are selling or just wanting to sell some off, ones that you maybe didn't hit on, like I said, banana pied, they're always sought after. So. Here's another one you don't see all the time. So once we get back into ball pythons here, do it with a bang. And that would be this Mojave Monsoon male. And it starts at basically the reserve at $2,500. You're not gonna find a Monsoon less than this. You're just not. In fact, here's a guy balls. It's about 6 months ago on a Palm Street Auctions. They ended up selling one for about $4,500, I think, on the Palm Street auction. So that was that was the cheapest I'd seen them go at the time. So this is a really good opportunity if you wanted to get in the Monsoon and you wanted to get a visual to do it, because visuals again are the best way to go about it, right? They're the best way to get in and start breeding them into other things. And I predict that Monsoons within the next 2 to 3 years are going to come down even more, because as the combo keeps being made, and I'm using my Monarch as a reference point. When I bought in the Monarch, it was a little over $3,000 for my male, and obviously I've done a lot of work with him, and he's done great for me. But as you get making more of these combos, supply and demand, supply might stay where it is. It could continue to go up, demand might stay where it is, or it could continue to go up, but supply is destined to continue, especially in a popular morph, to go up, and that is usually going to bring the price down, as it should. I don't look at this as a bad thing. I look at it as an opportunity. It is a great opportunity, because this once $10,000 snake is becoming more affordable for everybody to start working in, and that is never bad. That is awesome. So Jersey Guy Balls also, I mean, again, if you don't know who they are, quality breeders and great people. So really cool. Looks like this was once possibly, it was bred to 50% het sunset or something like that. Sunset could have possibly been in there, but they tested negative. So man, that would have been something, right? Alrighty, so another one here. This one is just a het though. This het zebra. So if you get a visual zebra, they're floating around in the same price range as the monsoons, maybe a little bit less. The zebra is an interesting one though because they're pretty, just like monsoon. Monsoon has hets that are pretty out there, but it's not 100%. But zebras are they're really, you can really tell if it's a het zebra, quite frankly, to the point where some people are wondering why it even is called a recessive. I mean, you have a lot of this going over the top, quite a bit of the pattern just jumping over the top of the dorsal. You can see it kind of going from the other side there. It's very visual. It's very obvious. There's another explosion. And it's a female at that, so this is the best way to go about it if you wanted to start getting into a recessive and making that visual version yourself, and it's really expensive. This is a good way to go about it because you could get her up to size, or wait about a year and a half to 2 years before you buy your male, and maybe the price of zebras visuals have come down to a more affordable amount for you so that you can start creating visuals yourself. Or maybe you still have to work that het to het. Never ideal because you never know what's going to be het. I think that some places do offer testing on the zebra, but I don't think it's 100% right now. So not something that you should count on. That's for sure. But you could eventually get that het male, if it even is a het, and pack in with some other genetics in there. So I think yellow belly works incredibly well with zebra. Quite frankly, it really just blows up the pattern. I think that is a almost like shoe-in of something that you should get to work into it. But a really cool opportunity for somebody. Alrighty, another triple recessive combo here with zebra. And again, this is not something I've seen available, especially on an auction at all. So this pastel triple het zebra DG clown, these would all work really great together. I think that again, it's a male, so that's the only real, in my opinion, downside to it, because it's a little harder to do that. But again, if you're going to work on a budget for something that you want to hit a grand slam on, and you want to work it on a budget, this would be the way to do it. You'd have to again get a female that's triple het or something along those lines, and then you can test for the two of these RGI. You can send them out and get the tests done on any of the babies that don't hit visual, or that you just kind of took a chance and just went het to nothing on, so that you're hoping that it comes along for the ride, so that a future generation can breed. But then you're talking 6 years, right? Because each time you say like, oh, well, I won't hit it this time, but I'll get my building blocks and then I'll get it next time, and then you're talking 6 years usually, unless it's a male that you create, to go back to a female. And that would be like I said, the odds are much harder, but still not something you see every single time you log on the Morphmarket Auctions. Is a triple het that has zebra in it. So hey, Daryl, how are you doing? Yeah, I don't think you've ever been in one of my lives just yet. Well, welcome. Although we are on the last 3. Alrighty. Another one from Chimera, again, because it wouldn't be an auction without Chimera having something in there, would be the Super Pastel Enchi, 100% het hypo, sunset, and pied. Now this one is a girl, so I like that a little bit better. When you're talking your hets, I always like the girls to have the hets more, because the boys, being visual as possible, when you're breeding them and you're considering it, that you're going to probably keep that male and breed it to multiple females, that just increases your odds with all of those females. So looks really nice too, honestly. I don't know if that's some of the hets influences. I'm sure it's still youngin', so they always look a little bit nicer, but still a very nice looking animal. What I'm really thinking about is all of these right here. Visually, I don't know how you get something, a male that's going to have the most potential without spending a good pretty penny on it. I think the best way to do it would be to find a male that maybe is at least on a budget, a hypo pied, maybe het sunset, that might be your best. But then again, like I said, those sunsets are coming down a little bit, but I just think that if you get them with those two hets in there, that's going to undo all that that price drop that we were talking about. Still, never hurts to have a triple het female because there's so many different directions you can go with them. There's if you have males, maybe you can't work the the hypo into it or something like that. Hypothetically, get it hypothetically, whatever, that was corny. But let's just say you have a sunset het pied. You can work that into it, and then you can test for the het hypo and have a chance of getting that kind of come along for the ride. You hopefully hit that double, and then you spin that from there and hope that you are holding on to a het hypo, which you can test for, and then you can kind of work from there. Like I said, another generation later. Hopefully you get a male in that case, because the male you can put right back to this female. I know it sounds gross doing that, but in reptiles they work genetically different than mammals do. So it is okay to do that. Now, would I suggest doing that for 10 generations in a row? I don't know how that Alabama logic would work out, but I don't think it would be very good. No offense to anybody from Alabama, I'm just following the memes. But I definitely think that just one or two right off the bat is not going to be a big deal. So, caught you while at work. Oh, should report you. No, I'm just kidding. Alrighty. And then our last auction, actually, but we have one more that I wanted to go into. Again, from Chimera, would be this pastel yellow belly clown het sunset. This one is a visual clown with the het sunset. So at least you have one visual. Again, you can work your hets against each other. So a sunset clown girl would be ideal. But even if you did another clown het sunset, at least you know everything would be clown. And you can test again for sunset. So that wouldn't be horrible. And again, we showed what that clown sunset. Do I still have the picture up here? Let me find out. Yes, I do. Just in case you need reminding of what the clown sunset looks like. We picked the best ones, looking from what the heck is going on with this. There we go. The best ones I've seen are from Miguel with Always Evolving. They're just outstanding. So that's why I think it would be worth it going head to head. Again, that price is not accurate to what they are right now, but it's still quite a bit up there and what I see them go for. So I think that would be a really good opportunity again for somebody to start working those. And again, it's showing you how to do it on a bit of a budget too, where you can pick up an animal that, yes, it'll go for more than $80 here, but they still sell for over $10,000. The visual clown sunsets roughly. Maybe you could wheel and deal a little bit, but if you're talking about something that goes from, maybe you're spending $200 on this boy and you sell it for anywhere upwards to $8,000, that is really outstanding, and it looks amazing too, even if monetary value is not what you're concerned about. So alrighty, and then the last one I want to show off, it was on auction earlier this week, but it just went shy of the reserve price, but it is on sale. The reserve price was $750, and it is on sale right now for I believe that's half off. This is Barnhart Black Pastel Leopard Banana Clown, Yellow Belly Clown, I should say. Girl at that as well. So this kind of shows you what we were talking about earlier. I know that let's see, I think it was E.T., right? Yeah, E.T., you were asking about contrast. As you can see, when those lavenders kind of pop in there, that's where you get your contrast with banana, and it becomes more of an orangish type color. So really cool, and you see how vibrant it really gets there, and just how dark the lavenders can really get as well. So there's some contrast that can be had in there, specifically coming from the combo Barnhart Black Pastel and Leopard. So if you're wondering what Barnhart Black Pastel is, it is its own gene. It is allelic with Black Pastel. A lot of people thought for a long time, myself included, that it was a polygenic trait, but no, it's its own gene. Works very similar to Black Pastel in terms of creating a super, though, between the two of them, really. So just think about that. So I was gonna bid on that one. Maybe I'll make him an offer. If you're talking about this one right here, yeah, I think it would be a really good thing for you guys. Plus, there's a story behind this one. They're having a little bit of health issues, and you know, obviously it goes to some really good people, and they're kind of downsizing a little bit, you know, to kind of prepare, you know, to help combat that. We all have things thrown at us in life, and we can't really control that, but you know, when that happens, I think that this community, the reptile community, is the best community. We might bicker and fight about racks versus tubs and other such ancillary things that work differently for everybody, but I think when the tire hits the road, that we're there for each other, and these people are really good people. I've had pretty long conversations with them at the Tinley show and stuff like that. They're really good people. And there's a kid that's kind of taking the reins, named Xander, that you know, they definitely use the help, and this is a really great opportunity. They were not gonna sell this, I don't believe, originally. So really good one. Like I said, it's a good sale. If you're interested, you just hit this little button right there and go have a conversation with them. So all right, let's see. Question: what would 100% het to a 75 or 50 make a visual? So those so 50, I think you're talking about like the 100% hets versus like what they say, like a 66% het or a 50% het. So those are done because they're bred in a specific way. They're listed as 66%, but or 50%, but they are actually either 100% or they're not. There's no 66%. The reason they're listed that way is because the pairing, and you can't tell. So let's just say I bred a clown to a normal to make it easy. Every baby would be 100%. I know this because clown it actually has 2 genes to it. To make that visual, it must pass 1, so it's 100%. Let's just say I bred a het clown to a normal. It only has a 50% chance of passing on, thus the 50%. I do not know, and before genetic testing came along, you weren't able to send those to RGI and get them tested. Now you can test it before growing it up and determining, oh yeah, it is a het. And again, the 66% comes from 2 hets to each other. So let's just say I get a het clown and a het clown. I breed them together, but I don't get a clown. Well, in that case, it's 66% of the time it should be a het. So your odds go up in terms of being a het, but it's never guaranteed. So that's what they mean by that. So would it make a visual? Only if it proved out as being het. Just saw you were live while I was bidding on a redhead Russo. I think that's the one we showed earlier. Might as well go back to it. Is it here? Did you win it? Yeah, we were watching that one go. 3 something. I can't remember the exact amount, but just like 3-0 something or another. So but yeah, Daryl, I think if you are interested in that one, it would be a good one to contact him. And like I said, they're really good people, like very good people. So if it was me, and she looks amazing. So does it look like normal pastel? I'm not sure which one you're talking about. Oh, black pastel. Does it look like normal pastel? So it's just a name. They're not related in any way, shape, or form. Black pastel and pastel are not related in any way, shape, or form. They do work the same because they're both incomplete dominants, meaning that they have a visual look, but they do have a super form. Like you saw the super pastel, like this one. Those work very similar to recessive, so if I breed this, everything will have pastel in it for sure. However, super pastel, is different in terms of black pastel. Black pastel is usually perfectly fine to create a super, but it would be very. You should do your research because it does increase the occurrence of kinking. Or other such random anomalies in the snake. Not good anomalies, by the way. When kinking is when the spine is deviated, and obviously I don't think I have to go into detail why that's bad. So it does increase it. Does it make it like 50% of the time it's kinked? No, it does not. So it's to the point where I think that, you know, I don't think it's immoral to breed them together, but I think that's a choice everyone needs to make for themselves, and I think that it is knowledge that people should know. When we were working this, the black pastel, that is. Black pastel by itself is fine. Barnhart black pastel by itself is fine. It's when you combine it in the super form. So 2 copies of black pastel. Oh, Barnhart works the same, by the way. That is when you could get the super black pastel, which is an all black snake, mind you. They're very cool. I was mentioning that earlier, like an all black snake, but it does increase it. I don't know the exact odds, but you know, I'd say most of the time you're perfectly fine. That being said, when you breed ball pythons, or really when you breed any animal, you should harden your heart a little bit for tragedy. You're going to get kinked snakes. You're going to get really ridiculous bad things. Most of the time it's going to be sunshine and amazingness and fun stuff, but occasionally there is a tragedy, and it's heartbreaking, and it stinks. There's no other way to put it that way. But just, you know, some people have had it happen enough that they're just like, I don't want to increase my chances at all. So I just like to make people know that that's what you're, you know. But again, black pastel by itself, perfectly fine. Like this one right now. There is nothing that's going to happen with just 1 copy. Nothing. I just like to tell people when you create that super, you know, just keep that knowledge in mind. So this is a really good one though. So contacting them now. Well, good. Like I said, they're awesome. So you know, they were at Tinley as well. You probably, I mean, it's a sea of people there. So, but you definitely would have seen them at Tinley. So. In fact, they're in our video. Mm-hmm. I don't think maybe this one was brought. You know what? What's the timestamp on that? You were just looking at it, too.
320?
Okay. Let's find it. Oh, come on. I went to the top 5 ball pythons of all time. Or not of all time, at the Tinley show, but it didn't go to that. Okay, I'm just going to have to find it here. So we're going to try and find the walkthrough video. But you haven't seen them. If you want to go watch a walkthrough of the entire Tinley Park show, and I mean like POV, walk in the door, walk to your right, and walk through every single aisle for 3 to 4 hours. What are you doing? I can find it.
You're standing
there. I'm not standing. I'm sitting. All right, NRBC 2025. There we go. Complete walkthrough. Okay. This is what I'm talking about, though. And yes, it's 3 hours, but it's aisle by aisle, and you can actually go, if you're ever wanting to watch any of this, you can download the Google Doc here. Not download it, sorry, you just look at it, and it'll tell you each breeder, like with the timestamp, I think, too. So you said it was 3 something?
320, I believe.
320?
I think it was.
See if we can find it here. I found it. Yeah.
318.
Oh.
318.26.
Alright. Let's let it go here. I think I'm at that time. 318. I'm just about there, yeah. So.
You're right there. Oh, wait, no, sorry, not right there.
No. Lost signal on the phone. Back on my computer now. Where were we? Well, we're done. We're showing off. Let me pause it. It's not even an auction, but it might be sold by now. Who knows? This one here. It's a really great opportunity. It's not an auction actually, and it's for a wonderful cause because normally the snake would not have been released. They're having some health issues, so they need to downsize a little bit. And you know, sometimes life. That's the way it. You know, everybody has that. So it's nice when, you know, that, you know, this community can come together and maybe help them out. You know, and it's helping them out by buying an awesome snake. So, I mean, you're really helping yourself out. There we go. All right, so you said 318.26. That's about the tip right there. There we go. Let's see if it's in there. But it just shows some great quality animals right there. That might have been up right there in the corner. Gosh darn it, I'm bad at scrubbing videos.
20. Okay, so it goes 5 seconds.
I don't want to. Wait, does?
Yes.
I don't know why. I'm just sometimes just predetermined to tell you I don't want to. So, yeah. This one, I think that's it.
I can't see what you're pointing at.
And it's got size to it. Oh, if I forgot to mention this, they were telling me it's actually closer to 600 grams. They just hadn't updated that. So, Daryl, if you're still on, it's a bit bigger. I don't know if that is it because this is paired off. It might be.
Had more that looked like a blow.
Oh wow. Okay. Yep. You can see they work some wonderful stuff here. Barnhart, Black Pistol, Banana Leo, Corn. Okay. Super Bananas. I get some Hit Monsoon stuff I'd seen too. So look at their page as well. So lots of great stuff there. And again, if you're ever wondering about like what people carry at the Tinley Park shows, hop into one of these. I don't expect you to sit down, maybe fall asleep watching it, whatever. Where's Canova? Let me just jump to this aisle. Is this him?
I don't remember.
Oh, great. Now we gotta watch
Why
Stitch.
are you watching it on Chrome?
I don't know. Whatever, we're taking it out of here. There, wait, now I can skip it. Watch Disney claim the video. Oh my god. Where is it? Where are they? What aisle are they in, man? I cannot remember. I'm done. I'm gonna find it. I don't know how that works, so there you go. They said some of them were not identified because they just, people don't put up stuff, and we can't figure that one out, so. It's alphabetical, right?
Yes.
$150 basically. Oh, I was way beyond it. Yeah, so everyone likes to go to this. I think if you looked at our thing, it would spike here. There we go. The Jaguars were so amazing. I think there's a visual above it. Hey there, Tori. Yeah, we're basically done. I'm just looking at eye candy now. From my own video. Where's the Jaguar? I think somebody bought it there too. I hope we didn't. I don't think we missed it that day. Yeah, because you came right before it opened. The show. But yeah, all this amazingness. One of the best Xantics ever. Yeah, if you ever want inspiration. Let's look at some of this stuff. This is wow. Lace Pompeii. Yep. That's just a thing. Sitting in a... Right there. I didn't even see that. That's actually a really good price for that song. What we're looking at right now, the breeder's name? This is Canova.
Previous one was Royal X Reptiles.
Yes, the previous one was Royal X Reptiles. Yeah, let me know, Daryl. Like I said, it's for good people too, and they could definitely use the help. But yeah, this is what I'm talking about. So just use. I don't know how this auction video devolved into. This is not really a devolve. Listen to me looking at this stuff. Sometimes I like just go back here. This is why we started doing this. I'm not going to take credit for being the original walkthrough. Well, I guess for a full uninterrupted walkthrough for the most part, yeah. But there was a guy. Darn, I can't remember. He doesn't do it anymore. He does not really upload all that much, if at all, right now. But he would do the earlier auctions, and I would just watch them nonstop, and then just kind of scrub around and see things, and just get so much inspiration, or just things like, oh, I want to talk to that breeder and stuff like that. Next time I'm at the Tinley show, he would kind of do it in that, but he would take cuts on it, and I kind of thought especially since he stopped, I was just like, well, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do the whole thing. So we do have a cut version, by the way, if your ADD can't handle this. It's 40 minutes long or something like this, so yeah. But I would fall asleep watching these things. I would go from start to finish, and I would end up falling asleep looking at these things. So Probably has so many cool things to be done with it yet. It really does, and it's going to be hard to do things with it because of how much is going on. You know, you've got so many different genes in there that just make it so difficult to really hit it on a consistent basis. So if you're just trying to re-hit the thing, it's already difficult. So to add stuff to it is even more crazy. Heck, most of us are just hoping to hit a regular one at some point. So yeah. I watched the whole thing. That one where some dude at one point was talking so loudly and publicly about washing his... Okay, was that a thing?
I mean, I don't remember it.
It might have been.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, we have to censor so much crap. I don't even have my brother tell me much of it anymore. Is there a story you can tell? Just one of them?
Let's see. I've caught at least...
Not counting out all the racist and sexist and baloney shit. I mean, there's so much of that.
I'm not saying I've caught at least 3 people admit to felonies, but...
Oh, yes, you did tell me about that one. Yes, we won't go into detail there. I'm not about to be... I mean, yeah. There's people... Like I said, there's a good community, but there's people. I mean, let's just say we have somebody on video who was in prison for attempted to planning a murder.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
There's that. There's that. Just a day later, he was hoping to do it at Tinley. Yep, that's a thing. If you know the story, you know. There seems to be 2 on Royal X of the Barnhart Black Mistell. Yeah, they have a lot of that great stuff. They have some stuff with Monsoon on there, too. Check them out. Great quality stuff and great quality people. So, yeah, if you haven't checked this video out, give it a look-see. You can kind of scroll through it. Like I said, use that document. Where'd it go? Right here. Just click on it and it just opens this right here. And you can see every one in alphabetical order. So if you have a favorite breeder, and it's not just breeders, mind you. There's people like Next Level who have displays and like show displays and racks and stuff for sale. You can do that. And it's not just ball pythons, remember. So, we want to expand ourselves in terms of what we show on this channel. So that could be coming soon as well. But there's lots of things here. Geckos, lizards, all sorts of cool stuff. So if you tell me the story, I'll know too. Oh, yeah, I think I'll stay away from that one. Just there, it's gross. I'll be honest. The details are gross. Yeah. So it's a good thing that person is behind bars. So, yeah. You could. I mean, you wouldn't take much Googling to find it out. Let's just put it that way. And they are not representative of anyone else. So, all right. I want a banana Pompeii. I haven't looked lately, trying to find it. I don't know if that's been made. Probably. But sure, it'd be amazing. I'm gonna look it up. Notice how I pull the screen when I'm Googling off to the side? That's very much on purpose. Who knows what you'll find Googling things. And we are live, so I like having a channel. Oh, wait a second. Heck yeah.
What was that?
What was what?
The audio, did the opposite of peaking for a second.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, well, there you go. This is a Banana Hurricane Pompeii from Balls of Fury. Another wonderful breeder. That is outstanding. There you go. I don't think I've seen that before. I don't think bring that to a show. I want to see that. You bring that to a show, I put that on my top list. Guarantee it. Here at the animal show is some dog and cat breeder levels. It really is. It really is. Some Joe Dirt or whatever. It's not Joe Dirt. What is that guy? Tiger King dude. Anyways, yeah. Yeah, I didn't know either, Tori. I did not know. It's outstanding. But okay, I think we will call it there. It's a little bit longer than I had even anticipated to do. Not that much longer actually. Only about 15 minutes or so. But yeah, hope you all have a wonderful day. Oh wait, Sunday, the video. It's is it going to be the egg cutting or is it going to be?
It's either going to be an egg cutting or shoot. What's the video I'm working on? I always forget the video I'm working on.
It's the differences in price. So it's going to be a little bit of a different one. So we're going to go over the differences in price of ball pythons, going anywhere from a normal, so the lowest price, all the way up to over 10 grand, and kind of show difference in levels and what they what are you won about?
Audio's bugging out. That's weird. I think the noise suppression algorithm's screwing up.
Hey, whatever. Okay. But yeah, we're gonna show a difference in price for everything. And of course, I can't go through every snake. I pick about anywhere from 5 to 10 per kind of a little category of price range that I made, and you can kind of see where things start to become where you can tinker and create some really cool stuff and level up, so to speak, where you can kind of take that level up yourself, depending on whatever budget you have. So that's kind of where that goes, but it's going to be showing off a lot of snakes all the way from $40 to over 10 grand. Like, and again, that's not really a reflection on the price. I know that people can wheel and deal and make deals like that, but just something to always think about, because prices are always changing. That video will be obsolete. Everybody has made a video like that, I feel like, but it becomes obsolete after really technically a year, and it becomes super obsolete after about 3. Yeah, then we have an egg cutting, which I'm anticipating them pipping tonight or tomorrow. It's been a slow year so far. It's going to be like everything's going to be near the end of the year for us, but this one did come. And just shout out to Daryl there. They our power went out, and they actually babysat our eggs for about a day. So Spring Creek Serpents, that thing is gorgeous. It indeed is. Like I said, it's a great deal right now, half off. So, but all right, I think that we'll get going here. Like I said, if you had missed part of it and you wanted to watch this here, I think as soon as it goes, the live ends, you can rewatch it. And if you are interested in watching our full walkthrough of the Tinley show, where did it go? There it is. Yeah, check it out. It's long, but you see a lot of cool stuff like this. And if you want to just jump ahead, here's all the aisle time markers. You can just click on that, and then boom, there you're in that aisle. Don't visit Granger, or do, I don't care. But then you can click here, and you can actually get specific breeders based on alphabetical order. So it can tell you exactly where to go in the timestamp if you really wanted to see a specific person's stuff. Like we were talking about Royal X. Hope if I knew my alphabet here. There we go. So that's how you figure it out. So you just go straight to them right there, and you can find anybody you want on this big video. So, all right. Tori says power went out yesterday for 3 hours. Oh God, neighbor overheated. There is here something. Yeah, hopefully it's there are egg cuttings this week though. They're easy videos to make, and they're fun as heck. Obviously, I'm just cutting eggs. I could be doing it anyway. So, usually I like to wait for one to pip typically, but at some point I step in because I'm just like, you should be out. So, Royal X stuff, so cool looking. I agree. So I definitely turn people's attention to them. Don't just look at this animal. Go to their whole page. They got quite a bit going on there. So, on fire. So there you go. Lots of cool stuff. Their pictures are outstanding, by the way. I want to ask them what they're doing for that. So obviously on a mirror, but I don't know. I think that's outstanding work. I always like the picture. So, all right. Hope everybody. Oh, your first clutch pip today. All right. What you gotta let me know. Hit me up on Messenger or something like that. Let me know what y'all got. But all right. I will call it there. Hope you all have a wonderful night. And again, check out our video Sunday, whichever it is. It's either going to be our first one of the year, or our first clutch of the year, or it's going to be that differences in price, which just have a whole bunch of snakes, kind of showing you that. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed, and we'll catch you in the next one.